99 minus 98 times 88 minus 87 times 77 minus 76 times 65 minus 66. Well, each of these is 1. So this is 1 times 1 times 1 times 1, and that overall would be 1. So the answer here is B. 1 squared is 1 plus negative 1 squared is 1 minus 1 squared, which is 1, and this looks like 1. So we are continuing with the trend of 1A. The base of my panic button is a square with an even perimeter. It can't have a side length of. So if we have a square and its perimeter is even, that's what they're saying. Let's see what we get if we put in even numbers for the perimeter. If the perimeter is 2, the side length would be 0.5. If the perimeter is 4, the side length would be 1. If the perimeter is 6, side length would be 1.5. If the perimeter is 8, side length would be 2, and so on, right? So let's look at the answer choices. 0.5, okay, that's fine. 1.5, that's fine, and 1, that's fine. So this one I think it can't, because if the side length is 0.75, that means that the perimeter would be 4 times that, which is 3, and 3 is an odd number. So number 3, the answer is B. All right, so we got whatever this is. We have to add all these guys. Well, these are all multiples of 7, I think. It looks like it. So it's 3 times 7 plus 4 times 7 plus 5 times 7, and so on. 6 times 7, 7 times 7, 8 times 7, and I think 9 times 7. 7 times something. So if you factor out the 7, it's just 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9. And that, when you add up these guys, I believe that is 42. So that question mark is 42. So number 4 would be C. 3 over 12 is equal to question mark over 16. Okay, cross multiply. That'll be 48 is equal to 12 times the question mark. And then the question mark, therefore, would be 48 divided by 12, which is 4. So number 5, the answer is A. What type of triangle has the largest angle? Equilateral would basically be 60 degrees for all if it's. Acute basically means less than 90. Obtuse means one angle is the greatest angle is greater than 90. And right means equal to 90, at least the one of the angles. So the one that has the largest, obviously, is this one, which is obtuse, and therefore number 6 is C. A CD costs 30 quarters, 30 dimes, 30 nickels, and 30 pennies. If I pay with 30 half dollars, I will overpaid by. Okay, so let's calculate this. 30 times a quarter, which is 0.25, plus 30 times 0.1, which is the value of a dime. A nickel is 0.05, and then a penny is 0.01. And when you crunch out these numbers, you get $12.30. Now, 30 half dollars is 30 times 0.5, which is $15. So you're basically comparing the 15 to the 12.30, and that is a difference of $2.70, and therefore number 7 is B. If I have $39.99, I can buy at most how many 39-cent trinkets? So 39.99 divided by 0.39, and that is 102.53 approximately. So 102 is the answer, and that would be C. What is the tens digit of the product? 8765 times 4321. And when you do that, you get 37873,565, and the tens digit is this guy, the 6, so that would be B. How many grains of rice are in 1 kg of my famous rice if the average weight of 1 grain of rice is 0.01? So 1 kg is 1,000 grams, I believe. And then we're divided by 0.01 grams, and that would be 100,000. 100,000 grains of rice, so 10 is D. 120 divided by 2 is equal to 360 divided by something. So 120 divided by 2 is equal to 360 divided by something. I don't know why they keep using the question mark. It's so annoying. They should just use a variable like x. Anyhow, this is 60 times 3 is 60 over x, and therefore if you cross multiply and divide, this will be 6. So x is 6. Number 11 is B. The additive inverse of a half is, additive inverse, for those of you who don't know, so for example, if you have a number x and I say what is its additive inverse, it's something that when you add to x would make the sum equal 0. So obviously that would be negative x, right? Because x plus negative x is 0. So same thing, if I have a half and I say what do I need to add to a half to make it 0, well the answer is negative a half. So that's the answer, and it looks like they're just giving us some words, and the word that matches would be negative, so 12 would be A. K has an ice cream sundae every Sunday in May. If May 1 is Saturday, then exactly how many Sundays will K have in May? So let's make a little calendar, and let's see what happens. So we have a 1 here, and then 2, and then we're really interested in Sundays, so it'll be 2, 9, 16, 23, 30, like that. So we can reach 30, and therefore this is 5 Sundays. So the answer would be D. The sum of two odd numbers cannot equal. Well, let's say you have odd plus an odd. That was, for example, if you have 5 plus 7, that's 12. Odd plus an odd is an even. So when you add two odd numbers, it will be even. So this is even, this is even, this is even, this is not. So it cannot be the 241. So 14 is D. If twice a certain number is 96, then 1/3 of the number is. If twice a certain number, so let's say the certain number is x, that's 96. So that means x is 48. Then 1/3 of the number would be 48 divided by 3, and that's 16. So 15 would be A. Of the following, which pair has the greatest common factor? All right, greatest common factor. Well, the greatest common factor of A, this guy, I think is 3. The greatest common factor of those two numbers is, I think, 9. The GCF of those two was 6, I think. And of those ones be 3. So the one that has the greatest common factor, which pair has the greatest common factor? Would be B, this one. Yeah. If each of the 5 numbers increased by 10% of its value, then the sum of the 5 numbers is increased by how much? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, right? And each of them is, let's just say each of them is a 10. Let's just make it simple. Each of them is increased by 10%, so it goes from 10 to 11. So the initial sum was 50. Now when we increased each of the numbers by 10%, they became 11s, and now the sum is 55. And what they're asking is the sum is increased by how much? So we're comparing 55 to 50, so it went up by 5, and that's 10% basically. So 10%, 17 is C. At 2 p.m., I'll begin to draw 32 3-minute pencil sketches. I'll rest 2 minutes between sketches, so I'll finish the sketches at what time? Okay. All right, let's see here. So we have a whole bunch of sketches, 32 of them, ... all the way to the 30-second sketch. And in between, we have these breaks, break, like that. And then like this. So in total we have 32 sketches that take 3 minutes each, and 31 breaks that take 2 minutes each, right? Because the break at the end, we don't count that. We just stop after the final sketch is drawn. So that looks to me like 32 times 3 plus 31 times 2. So that's what? 96 plus 62, which is 158. So 158 minutes after 2 p.m. So that's what, 2 hours and 38 minutes. So that'd be 438, and therefore 18 would be B. 3 minutes equals what percentage of 90 minutes? So 3 over 90 is what percentage? 1 over 30, and that is like 3.33. So of these, the one that's equivalent to 3.33 is 10 over 3, and therefore 19 is C. Okay, so this one, well, the answer choices are kind of, they're weird. So let's just do the FOIL on this. This would be 100 squared minus 88 times 100 plus 88 times 100 minus 88 squared. And then these two cancel, so that just leaves me with 100 squared minus 88 squared, which is exactly what D is. 20 is D. In 30 years, my current age would triple. How old am I now? So in 30, let's say my current age is A. In 30 years, it'll triple, so it'll be 3A. So that's the math. So 30 is equal to 2A. Therefore, A is equal to 15. And therefore, the age of a current age is 15. Therefore, 21 is 8. What is the smallest positive integer that is a multiple of 38 over 57? 38 over 57 in lowest terms is 2 over 3. So what is the smallest integer that is a multiple of 2 over 3? Well, if you take 2 over 3 and multiply it by 3, you'll get 2. And this will be the smallest positive integer that is a multiple. Of the following numbers, which has the greatest value? So this is 1. This is 0.25. This is 0.04. So therefore, obviously, 2.5 is the biggest one of the answer choices. If AB plus BC is 18, then the perimeter of ABC cannot equal. So we have a triangle, and we have A, B, and C. Now, there's a triangle inequality, and it states that two sides, so in this case AB plus BC, let's say, have to be greater than the third side. So that would be AB plus BC, so the AC. So if AB plus BC is 18, then that means that AC has to be less than 18. It can't be, for example, 18. And because if it was 18, then the perimeter would be 36, and that cannot be possible. All the others would be possible because you can make AC less than 18. You add 100 different positive integers. I add 99 of these, 100. The least possible difference between your sum and mine is. Okay, so we have, let's say you have the numbers 1, 2, 3, all the way up till 100. Now, you add the first 99, we'll call that S1, and I add the first 100, that's S2. So they're saying, what is S2 minus S1? In particular, what is the least possible? Well, the least in this case is 1, and I think that's the least because they all have to be positive integers, so you can't use 0 and you can't use negative numbers. So this scenario gives you the least, and that would make 25B. A ball with a 5-meter circumference needs how many turns to roll 1 kilometer in a straight line? So 1 kilometer, which is 1,000 meters, divided by 5 is the way to calculate this. And that looks to me like 200. So 26 is C. The square root of the square root of. Okay, so let's say the number is n. So we want the square root of the square root is 4. So square both sides and we get 4 squared. Square both sides again and we get 4 to the power of 4. And therefore, very quickly we get 27 is C. Which equals the reciprocal of the product. Okay, so first let's do the product. 2 over 3 times 5 over 6 is 10 over 18, which is 5 over 9. Then we have to figure out which one of these is equivalent, and it's this one. Because this is, wait, hold on, let me think about this for a second. This is 18 over 5. Yeah, that's the reciprocal of basically, sorry, 18 over 10. 18 over 10 is the reciprocal of this guy. So that is the answer, D for number 28. The least possible sum of 5 different positive multiples of 6. So we want the least, so let's just get the least multiples of 6. That would be 6, 12, 18, 24, and 30. These are the smallest multiples of 6, and when you add them up, smallest 5 multiples of 6, and when you add them up, you get 90, and therefore the answer to number 29 is B. If a certain 2-digit number is equal to twice the sum of its digits, what is the sum of the digits? So we have a number, let's say it's AB, and it's equal to twice the sum of the digits. Now AB, like any number, say 52, is really 5 times 10 plus 2. So it's the same as 10A plus B. 2A plus 2B, and this is 8A is equal to B. So that means, for example, if A is 1, B would be 8. So that number, AB, is really 18. And the sum of the digits would therefore be 1 plus 8, which is 9. So 30, the answer is 8. The distance between steps on a ladder is measured from the top of a step to the bottom of a higher step. If the distance between adjacent steps of my ladder is 25 and each step is 2 centimeters thick, what is the distance between step 1 and step 7? So let's see here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So what do they want? They want the exact, based on everything they say in the question, it's from here till here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those guys, and each of those is 25. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the thickness of each step. So 5 times 2. So this looks to me like 150 plus 10, which is 160. So C is the answer to number 31. If the average of 3 different positive integers is 3, their least possible product is. So we have, let's say, 3 positive integers and their average is 3. So A plus B plus 3 divided by 3 is 3. So that means A plus B plus C is 9. Now I want to figure out what is A times B times C, the least possible product. Okay, well, we have to experiment basically. Let's try 1, 2, and 6. So the 1 times 2 times 6 would be 12, and I think that's the least. And you can fiddle around with other possibilities, and you'll see that 12 is the smallest that you'll get. If ABCD is AD plus BC, then 2543. So if we use this carefully, AD, so that's going to be 2 times 3 plus 5 times 4. So that's 6 plus 20, so that's 26. And therefore, C is the answer for number 33. If the sum of 2 positive integers is divided by their difference, a possible value. Okay, so we have 2 numbers. Is divided by their difference. So A minus B. Okay, so if we use, let's say, A equals 3 and B equals 1, we have 3 plus 1 over 3 minus 1, and that's going to be 4 over 2, which is 2. And 2 is one of the answer choices, so 34 is D. The number of minutes in a second divided by the number of seconds in a minute. The number of minutes in a second would be 1 over 60, and the number of seconds in a minute is 60 over 1. And we're dividing, right? So that is going to be 1 over 60 divided by 60 over 1, which is 1 over 60 times 1 over 60. You invert and multiply. That's 1 over 60 squared. And that's obviously less than 1, and that would be choice D for number 35. The number 1 over 111 is what percentage of the number 111? So to figure out the percentage, you would divide like that. And then invert and multiply. So it'll be 111 squared. Use your calculator, and this is 0.00008. And to get a percentage, you have to multiply this by 100, and this will be 0.008%. And for 36, that would be 8. All right, so 9 to the power of 16 square root, and then square root. Well, the first square root would, you remember, you just you divide the exponent by 2. So this would be 9 to the power of 8. And then to do it again 9 to the power of 4. So 37 would be C. Today, Grandma rode 20% farther than she rode on Sunday in 20% less time than Sunday's ride took. Her speed today was what percentage of her speed on Sunday? So remember, speed is equal to distance over time. And let's say we have today versus Sunday. And we're going to have the distance, the time, and then eventually we'll calculate the speed, which is distance over time. So let's see here. So the distance, I'll just give it some numbers just to make it easy to understand. Today, let's say that, what is it? She rode 20% further today. So let's say on Sunday she drove 100. That means 120, 20% further. And the time is 20% less. So let's say she was out there for 10 hours. 20% less would be 8. And then therefore speed for this one would be 120 over 8, which I believe is 15. And this would be 100 over 10, which is 10. So the speed comparison is 15 compared to 10, which is obviously an increase 150%. If you compare 15 to 10, it's 150%. 15 is 150% of 10, and that's basically what they're getting at. So 38 would be B. Grandma's 100. Her age in months contain 2 more digits than her age in years during all or part of what of those 100 years? Okay, so this is a very long experimental question. I'll give you an idea. When she's 8, for example, her age in months is 8 times 12, right? 96. Now, 96 is not 2 digits more than 8. It's only 1 digit more. But after 5 months, when she's, for example, 8 years and 5 months, this becomes 101 months. So this number is 2 digits more. And similarly, the same thing happens when she's 9. 9 times 12, for example, is already 108. So this 108 is 2 digits more than that. And that also happens when she's 83. You'll see 83 times 12 is 996. Now that is not 2 digits more than this, but after 5 months, for example, it'll be 1001 months, and that is 2 digits more than that. And similarly, it'll happen for ages 84 all the way till age 99. So all these years, either for the entire time she's that age or part of it, the question holds true that her age in months is 2 digits more than her age in years. So we have that year, and all of these guys, which I believe is what... oh, and this guy also, don't forget that one. So that's what... a total of 19 years. So that would be D for 39. And finally, what is the difference between the sum of the first 2004 positive integers and the sum of the next 2004? So the first one is basically 1 plus 2 plus 3 all the way up until 2004. And the second one is 2005 plus 2006 all the way up until 4008, correct? So what do they want? S2 minus S1 basically. So if you do this, this minus this is 2004 and so on. And this minus this would be 2004, and then the first one minus 1 would be 2004. So they're all equal to 2004, and there's 2004 of them. So it'd just be 2004 times 2004, which would be 2004 squared, and that is C.